a ladies talk show with some lovely ladies that we have today. And we have some new staff. Yvonne's here with us today. Austin is here with us today. So we are ready to go. I'm Susie from Volcano.
I'm Sandy from Jackson.
I'm Roberta from Pioneer.
I'm Martha from my own in Jackson.
And Jackson.
And welcome to Jessie Laville.
I was just going to say, Jessie, welcome back home.
Afghanistan.
Yes.
We went to Washington, Virginia, and Debbie.
How exciting is that?
And Adriana, and she was on TV.
How sweet.
She had a sign that said, I waited 258 days for this kiss.
That is so sweet. Maybe we'll talk about that for our free-for-all, how important that is. Ladies, let's pick our first two topics.
Okie dokie.
Coffee, get out of
Whoops. Okay.
Just two.
Making a connection.
Number 5.
Do you feel women make connections with other women faster than men do with other men?
Okay, next topic.
Okay. Here we go.
And what's the next topic?
Being a lady.
Okay, number 4.
Jeez, I thought you passed out on me. That scared me.
What is your definition of a lady?
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
Obviously not you. We're going to go, and I can say that because her husband and I are friends.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a very short
He
break.
likes her better than me.
Stick with us and watch how we botch this up.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
Welcome back to Just Between Us. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, madam.
Is that an official title?
No, I better,
We should have gone with,
I better not say that.
Making a connection.
No wonder you got new jewelry.
Old jewels, new jewelry.
There you go.
Very old.
Stop.
Okay, what was the question? Read the question.
Do you feel women make connections with other women faster than men do with other men?
Okay, first of all, connection in the young people's vocabulary is different than it is in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
So we have to clarify that. Do women make friends maybe faster than men do? Yeah, I think so. I think women are
We're more
social.
open to talk. You look at how many times have you gone into a grocery store line and you're standing there bored to death and you start a conversation up. Do you see men doing that?
My husband does. Oh my God, he's a lesbian. No, John's friendly. He loves to talk to people.
Well, you know what Gary did? I told you what Gary did to me. We were in a grocery store in the South. And we walk in, and Gary walks past this bin of turnips, actually, and he throws it across the store. Says, "Here, Sandy, have a conversation," because he always says I can talk to a turnip. And the people in the store started laughing. And
then they ran from her.
No, the problem is I had witnesses,
Yeah.
so I couldn't
You couldn't do anything back.
And I was out of state. I had no.
I have to say, I have to stick up for Gary. Gary's a good guy.
He just doesn't talk to people.
That's it. Well, he's married to you, so
Well, yeah, I know.
he needs the
He
break.
doesn't talk to me. He runs away and hides.
Do you make up for the difference?
I talk to the dogs, the cats. I've been known to talk to furniture, but that's not the point.
You know, for
You got to get back in therapy, honey.
for me, I usually kind of scoop what's going on before I, become, real friendly. I kind of keep my mouth shut for a few seconds.
I was going to clarify, too.
And I just kind of feel, the air of what kind of personality everybody has, and then I can start
Well, when
talking.
you wear a T-shirt that says "I flunked anger management,"
I have to
people are not going to be
yes.
drawn to you.
And I want one.
Yes.
That
I
is so
really,
cute.
Don't you forget it, people. Look
I
at
think
this.
that's cute.
Yes.
That is a cute shirt.
I do. I
Roberta,
really.
do you feel like I do that? It's easier for women to make connections.
I do.
Oh, I should say friendships.
Well, I think connections and friendships are a little bit different, but I think that women do.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can connect, you can start a
Yes.
conversation, you can even have a fairly deep conversation, but that doesn't mean it's going to go on and you're going to
Forever.
continue on
Yeah.
as a friend. But
Right.
I think we can get into a conversation. Just this, I think JBU is a good example. We can get into topics, talk about
We can
things,
talk
and make
about
connections. 'Cause
anything.
I like the way you think, you know. Whereas,
Oh, now I got two of them on my hands.
Warped. We wouldn't be sitting here.
But I have seen men that are like that too.
I think we're so
you know,
friendly. Yeah.
John's like that. John's
yeah,
friendly. He
there's
can
a
talk to
lot of
anybody.
men that I know that start a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, so because I'm in the business of talking to people
Right.
in the restaurant, you know, everybody that comes in.
do you think it's more like sales type people?
I think so.
of
But
men-
I think people gravitate that have that personality.
Because
they
they have to
gravitate
make-
into a work environment that's people oriented.
Right.
Like my dad, he was a bartender.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he,
Oh, yeah.
he never and he didn't drink, so he, you know, just
He
kept
talked.
Like me.
pouring. You know,
Yeah.
Poured and talked.
yeah, and he
And
had as
listened.
many men friends as women friends, because women just I guess when my dad, never mind that.
Another story.
That was it's a whole different story.
That's
I
another
think
topic.
There might be more
Sandy's
DNA
at-
that I
Sandy's
know
out
about.
there.
Anyway, but
Sandy, you're giving us too much information,
Well,
or we're
I-
making it up in our own minds.
We sure are.
no, it's vivid. Yeah. I got some off-camera stories, but I think so. I think people who can sell things, like people can sell ice cube to an Eskimo type people, are open up to being able to gab with anybody.
People that talk to turnips.
Yeah.
It's very simple. We're going to go on to our next topic, which is
Being a lady, and we have quite a few we could have picked from here. But what's your definition of a lady? And I
Well-
think it's changed over the centuries.
My mom was a lady.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my mom. Well, never
I
mind.
think that I think you're right. I think that being a lady has changed. I think we have more leeway. A lady never said who or anything like that, where we can,
Or tooted.
yes.
Oh, yes. Well, it's like I never knew my grandmother, my dad's
Is that
mother.
what they used to say? Who tooted?
Well,
Not
she
in my
was
house. It's like,
evident-
who let that one?
Yeah. My grandmother, who I never met, my dad's mother, supposedly never cursed a day in her life. She started the Methodist Church in Independence, Missouri. She was all this and this. She was
Wow.
the epitome of a Southern,
A lady.
Lady, yeah.
Right.
And then there's me. I'm more of a
Maybe
broad.
it's that other DNA
too.
you were talking about.
I'm more of a broad than a
Yeah.
lady. I think.
I think that part of the definition, I think, is to know your limitations, how you dress, the way you act in public. I don't think that those things are going to change, but I think that society has allowed us a lot more leeway, obviously.
Well, a
Yes.
lady back then and a lady today is totally different. To me, Jackie Onassis was a lady, but out in public. But who knows what
She
she
swore
did,
like
you
a
know?
drunken sailor,
you
out
know?
of that's
I
what I
mean,
understood.
so she could be a lady, but at the same time,
Yeah, you could be both. I mean, I know how to fake it if I have to. If you go to meet dignitaries or something, and which I had to do in my job. Yeah, I can fake it. I can be really polite and seem educated and all that stuff if I had to.
Well, that's because they have that electric tape across your lips. They have no choice.
No, it's more Hannibal Lecter. But no, but I mean, but I think ladies aren't. I mean, we show our ankles. I mean,
Ooh, I thought you were going to say something else there for a minute.
Actually, when I was
Some of
growing
them
up,
do.
I remember when women wore
They aren't
hats.
the ladies.
I remember
Yeah,
when
we
I
used
grew
to
up,
go to church to
yeah,
mass,
hats,
gloves,
oh, you
and
hats and
yeah,
gloves and
absolutely.
stuff.
yeah.
You know, you didn't wear white after was it Labor
Labor
Day?
Labor Day.
Yeah,
and
and
not
stuff like
before
Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
See, and that's, to me, all of that has gone
That's
out.
goofy.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's regional too. We're here in California. California to me, it's always because I used to go visit relatives in the East Coast and stuff like that, or in the
They're-
Midwest.
they're-
It's regional. Chicago was more,
Yeah.
but California is more laid back.
what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Part of it because
Well, they're the
Those
word-
are quotes. Those are
The
quotes.
quotes.
You got to get with the jargon here.
You know,
I know.
they
does that translate?
they had customs. They had Midwestern
Oh,
customs. and
this is
stuff.
how I learn my English, okay? So-
And I do believe too that women in the Midwest and in the South are much different than the
Oh, the
East
southern
Coast.
southern women are
They're
very
ladies.
they're
Very
ladies,
much
the
ladies.
even to today. They,
Yeah.
I
And-
mean, the younger generation might be changing, but
Right.
the people.
I don't know. I still see the young Southern women.
cotillions.
The
and
cotillions, they
and
still do
stuff.
the debutante
On
ball.
balls,
The,
yeah.
the
Because
Texans.
traditions are,
You know,
I
and they're
think
very
they
tr-
tend to stay put longer.
They're very
Yes.
traditional
And so
back
they're
down
traditional.
south.
think
Stay
of
more.
one lady. You know, today there's hardly anybody. I mean, I'm trying to think of who would I think that is a lady that I know. You know, so
You know, well,
and what does that term really mean? You know, I mean, do you have to be a lady
Well, there-
all the time?
You would know it when you see it because there's some women out there that you can
Aren't.
and there's a certain word for them that starts with an S, but you know I'll tell you after.
wait a minute. My name starts with an S.
no, but it's S and a K. But it's you see, you know when you see it, and there's people. I think lady comes with manners.
Like maybe Diane, the princess.
Well, you know,
Like
but
she-
there
Well,
Well,
but
again,
then, but
we
there
heard
again,
yeah, there
she
again.
had affairs, and she was.
So
some-
she really was
if,
not a
if
lady.
you're going to be
Well, I don't know.
You do it
Who are we to
discreetly.
judge?
Who were-
Let me
yeah.
ask you this: who are we to judge what somebody else does outside? You know,
out
who-
of public view. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
in general, someone who's classy, who you think, I think you use the word boundaries, who
Yes.
knows the boundaries that are appropriate for
In public.
for that circumstance. Because
Right.
I think the boundaries change depending on where you
Oh,
are.
yeah,
and
it's
so at
changed
least in
quite a
our
bit.
day,
Yeah.
if they know the boundaries within that time,
Well, you know,
Today,
situation,
I've been
so
called
manners
a
and-
lady before.
You
Yeah,
are.
well, you are.
believe that?
You are. In other
It's
words,
like-
Martha, you
except
wouldn't
in-
wear your French maid costume outside of the house.
Uh,
No,
I-
you keep it for inside the house. Oh, we
I
gotta
won't
pick.
tell
We gotta
her.
pick 2 new topics already. My goodness, too much fun.
more topics to choose from.
Okay. We got a free for all.
Okay.
To do whenever. Having fun.
number one, honey.
Do you prefer just a small group of family or friends when having fun, or is more the merrier?
Okay, and the next topic.
The free-for-all.
Free-for-all.
And Martha, we'll let you
Yes,
take that one
I'll
because
take-
I know
I'll
you'd
talk
like
about
to
it, yes.
discuss certain things. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us, and we'll hit you up with our free-for-all and with having some fun.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Welcome back to Just Between Us. And Sandy, we're going to do the having fun first, and then Martha will do your free-for-all.
More fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer just a small group of family or friends when having fun, or is more the merrier?
I think
like that.
both. I think you can do both and have fun. I think it just depends on the occasion, don't you?
Yeah, I'm finding I can't multitask as well as I used to, so more smaller
If
is
I
better.
yeah,
for me.
if
mean,
I
like
had
you
to
used
choose
to?
one or the other,
I'd rather
I'd
have
say
a
smaller.
I prefer small and intimate. I think that it's easier to be one-on-one or be in a small group, and I think you're more comfortable
I
with
like
a s-
party stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Here it comes out.
Yeah.
Let's go,
and
please.
two.
You know, in my family, you cannot get through a meal without talking about poop. But sometimes we always talk about. With Martha, there's another topic that always comes up.
As long as you don't mix the two, we're fine.
Exactly.
We're going to have this talk after the camera shuts down because this is a strange.
Interesting one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, I had a whacked out family.
Do you probably will say, well, you've got a big family. But when you entertain at home, do you like big crowds or just the family
I
and a
just
few
like
friends?
3 or 4 people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 people at the most.
You can
Yeah.
talk more.
When I do with
Freely.
my
Yeah.
girlfriends. There's about 15 of us, and sometimes we throw parties and we bring karaoke and stuff. Because I live up in the hill where we can turn the stereo on loud.
Is that what I hear?
Yes.
we can do
Reverberating.
karaoke,
Yeah.
you know, and get crazy.
I thought it was this bird calling.
Yeah. But it's
Flock of
fun. It's fun when
Rare
you're
birds.
Oh, excuse
when
me.
Oops, sorry.
when you can have fun with your friends that you trust. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I
You
think
know.
Roberta
That,
was
that won't
alluding
post
to.
anything on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what Roberta was alluding to. You're comfortable in saying certain things without
Right.
somebody that is a little bit more than a stranger. You think, oh
Yeah.
boy, now she heard this. Is
It's
she
more
going
fun
to...
when you don't have to be a lady.
Yeah,
Now we're fun.
you can really.
You can just
Share,
let down
really share
and
and
your friends,
just be
you know, all of us, you know, just say whatever we feel like it and talk about our problems and help each other.
Absolutely.
Laugh and
You know,
cry
laugh and cry and
hug
everything.
Now, my
yeah.
mom.
Kick each other, whatever.
I grew up, my mom liked crowds. And she was a
Well, she had
fabulous.
the restaurant, right?
Well, yeah, but that was later in her career. But she was a waitress her whole lifetime. And so she was personable.
She was used to the
And
people.
she was a fabulous cook. And so, I'm not kidding you. I would wake up in the morning and find a house full of people having breakfast. My mom and dad, got to remember, Los Angeles in the 50s, everybody more or less was transplanted from, it was after
from
the
someplace
war.
else.
Right.
They came either, you know, they transplanted from the Midwest or the East Coast, and they didn't have families. And so my mom just kind of like adopted all these people.
Oh, that's neat.
And they were all in the restaurant business, or
When
loosely
that happens to us, restaurant business,
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you know
and-
how to cook, everybody wants to come to your
And so,
home and eat.
I grew up with a massive amount of people. I remember one time she threw a party for the neighbors next door. It was their 50th wedding anniversary. We had 400 people in the house.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my goodness.
My.
And then a sit-down dinner for
You got a-
60.
You got a big house.
The woman could cram things. The woman was a hoarder, actually. But anyway, I mean, so I like small, because I grew up with so many people all the time, not even
You
knowing.
like the peace and
I
quiet.
like the peace and quiet. I have the big parties like
Sure.
with the barbecue.
Absolutely.
Well, once every 5 years, you
Yeah.
know, the big
'Cause
barbecue.
They're fun too. There's a
Yeah.
fun part about
Because you always
seeing
say, oh
everybody.
man, why did I say I was going to do this? And then once everybody arrives and you get going, you think, you know, that was really a lot of fun. I
It was.
can't wait for another
But
5
I don't
years
like the,
and do
when,
that
when
again.
it's that big. When it's that big, you have to mingle too much.
But you've done it well.
Yeah, but I
Well,
feel
and
like
that's the
I'm
thing, you
sliding
never
somebody.
really get to talk
to
in
anybody. I
depth
feel
to
like
anybody.
I'm sliding
Right.
somebody. I'm feeling like I'm hurting
And then
somebody's
you've got to worry
feelings.
about this one doesn't get along with that
Exactly.
one, or this one said something to
Yeah,
that one, and then
yeah.
you think, oh, why did I go?
I
Well,
try not
we
to
have
worry about that.
thank,
Yeah.
We should thank Mike and his wife, Kevin.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know, for
yes.
the
Oh,
party
my
they
God.
did
That was
for
and a
ESPN.
beautiful home. Beautiful
Oh my
home.
God!
Fabulous party.
That should
Mr.
be
and Mrs.
called.
Spence
Yes,
did a
I-
beautiful job,
They
and we
did.
thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Oh yes,
And
thank
other,
you.
and
When
other
home
body
is-
parts that we
yes.
won't go into.
And I
but-
went home and spit on my house. It's
But
because they
you
have a
know,
lovely home.
what is
Oh,
that
it's
little town
beautiful.
called where it's like far away from everything? You know, it's like, but it's like when I got there, it just went like, wow,
It's
I'm
beautiful.
impressed. I found it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, I
But
know.
the
I've never been up that
view
high.
is
Yeah.
And
just
beautiful
absolute-
host and
oh,
hostess.
Yes.
They were so gracious.
They did so
Yes.
much work.
was
They
we
did.
really, we
They
really
did.
appreciate it. I enjoyed
Very
it
much
that
so.
I didn't have to be the one doing all that work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you and me
It
both.
was-
Yeah.
And it was
was.
fun because it was a mixture of us, and it was a mixture of other people in the town. And so it was a lot of fun. Then there was that mixture there, and then we just had a ball.
It was really nice.
We-
I
we-
liked it.
You were coherent. I was
food, great
Well,
food.
yeah.
totally shocked. You
Well,
were
I
just
don't drink, so.
well, yeah, you're like
And the
me.
weather was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
Oh,
was
yes.
nice
And it was
and
cooler
breezy
up
where
there
we
than it
were
was at
sitting.
home.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to the free for all. Before we do that, I want to say get well wishes and prayers to Rachel, and I hope that you're
That's
feeling
my
bet-
daughter.
Yes, and I hope you're feeling better. And Rachel's daughter, Adriana,
That's
No,
I mean,
no, that's Martha Leticia.
Martha Letitia.
Martha Leticia, my daughter. This is going to be our free for all. We're going to talk about the forces and all of the people that go away and how hard it is when they leave, and how happy you are when they come back alive.
Because Jesse
know,
just came back.
Jesse, Adriana's boyfriend, my granddaughter, just came back the day before yesterday, Virginia Lavielle's grandson. So, and Debbie Lavielle, son. It's just so emotional. They were on TV.
He came in at SAC?
No. This is in Seattle.
Oh, in
Seattle,
Seattle.
Washington.
Oh, that's
They came
right.
in
Yeah,
She
at
they
went up
had
there.
to drive all the way up there to see him again. And my daughter, Rachel, made a sign for her that says, I waited 258 days for this kiss.
Isn't
So,
that
and,
cute?
so they were on TV and she's holding the sign and he's kissing her. Oh, so sweet.
That is
So
cute.
beautiful when the young people fall in love like that.
Yeah.
What
It-
branch of service is he?
Military. I mean,
Army.
Army.
Army?
Yeah.
Yes. So
At our age, we go, come on, hurry up, I'm double parked.
But anyway, it was just absolutely beautiful. And I'm just want to say thank you to all of the men and women that are coming back. It moves me tremendously to see them come back alive because I have seen a lot of caskets come back, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Jesse's back alive.
Yeah, and you know what I think is what is so fantastic to watch is the fathers that saw their children born on Skype, and,
know.
and they finally get to hold that,
Yeah.
and they just look at them.
I cannot imagine the sacrifices
Oh, my
that these
God.
people make,
And the
when
courage
they
that
let
they
their
have.
children go.
What
when
about the
they
mothers
so
that have to go
young.
and
Yeah,
leave their
that's
babies
what-
behind, that
oh,
leave their children
yes,
behind?
Yes, it's like, I don't know. That really moves me. Nothing moves me more than seeing them go to protect us.
I was
And
at
to-
the
We
and
have
that-
to be so grateful.
Right, and then to
Yeah.
get to come home, and then unfortunately we have some that are coming home that are missing limbs or whatever. But I think now people are so aware of how important these men and women are to us that we're doing more to help.
Well, we have an incredible organization right here in Amador County too, the Amador County Veterans Organization,
Right.
and really working for the vets to
Right.
find jobs and to find housing, to
Yes.
get over some of their addictions. There's a lot of issues
Absolutely.
that they have when
There's,
they
um,
come home.
There's one thing I do take issue is with the government. There shouldn't be volunteer groups helping these veterans. It should be coming from the government.
I don't say there shouldn't be volunteer groups
No, I
helping.
mean,
but
In addition
what
to-
makes me mad is that they have to, because there
Yes.
aren't
Right.
No,
getting
the
the
VA
help
well,
from the government.
VA
If
and
that's
the-
one thing the government should be doing, it should be helping
That's
our
where
vets.
money
Thank
shouldn't
you.
be these social programs. Nice. The money should be going to the VA first.
Well, you know what, we're going to take that topic, we're going to take that up in our second free-for-all about, because there's a few things going on out there that need to be brought to the forefront and we need to discuss. But Martha, I agree with you, there is nothing more heartwarming to see these people.
I was so happy to see my
Oh,
granddaughter
every-
welcome him.
Every time I go to the airport to pick somebody up, there's crowds of people with balloons.
Oh, it's
and
so
and
much
people
fun.
just stand up and start cheering as they go.
wonderful.
And you see sometimes a whole bunch of them coming
Right.
down because they're being.
And then we think back to
Vietnam when they
Oh,
got spit
I
on.
was,
How
and-
terrible.
I was in the USO during Vietnam, and so we were there to greet the guys come back, and we were the
Only
ones.
ones.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And we have to remember, and I'm glad to see that things are turning around and we're remembering the Vietnam vets. I know I get made fun of by a few people because when I see a veteran, I go up and I thank them.
I do too.
Constantly. And I feel good doing it. And the look on their face is just so
wow.
nice. And then, of course, we belong to, Donna and myself and a couple of the ladies belong to the Wounded Warrior Project.
Well, I do too.
And you do that.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I think that it's very, very important that we show that we care. But I think that the we care, and we're going to go into that in the next segment, needs to come, basically needs to be brought to the forefront, and we need to do more for these people, we need to pick 2 new topics, but we're going to continue this.
Well, we
with our
have
free-for-all.
another free
Thank
for
you for
all.
letting me
One do you
speak.
want?
Yeah, another free for all and keeping up appearances. Oh, that's the title of that British,
That's that British-
TV show. Yeah.
Number 2.
Was it Hyacinth?
Hyacinth, yes, and Daisy,
Number 2.
and Oslo, yes.
Sandy, number
Okay,
2.
keeping up appearances.
Keeping Up with Sandy's.
Yeah,
I love
really.
BBC. What do you feel is the hardest emotion to keep under check and deal with when you are trying
Let's
not to
flash
laugh?
on that one again.
You're in
When
a
she
crisis.
flunked anger management, you're going to ask her what emotion? Please.
Okay, I can get just as emotional as I can show you.
Yes, that's for sure.
okay.
I don't know, what emotion do you...
Are we supposed to break?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
what am I talking- Let me run this thing here. We're going to take a short break, and I have no idea what the hell's going to go on. And I don't
Just
care.
Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
Welcome back to Just Between Us. I'm Susie.
I'm Sandy.
I'm Roberta.
And I'm Martha.
Okay, let's do our topic first.
A
and we'll
gentle
do-
little Martha.
Oh, gentle,
Oh, please, please.
Okay, go.
We'll do our free-for-all. We'll do this topic first, and we'll do our
Multiple
Okay.
free-for-all.
personalities.
Yes,
Keeping
yes.
up
So,
appearances. What do you feel is the hardest emotion to keep under check and deal with when you're trying not to let on you are in a crisis?
oh boy.
Hurt. I think
That's
hurt.
what I was going to say, too.
Well, too bad. I beat you to it.
That's mine!
I guess.
Shut up, all of you.
Oh, okay.
We all flunked anger management. Here's Sandy sitting here like.
She's the lady. Yeah, I'm a lady.
Right. Okay. Whatever. I'm going to say hurt. Roberta, you say hurt too.
Yeah, because I think that's the one that...
Anger.
Anger. Oh, 2 angers, 2 hurts.
Hey, I even wear a T-shirt with that.
Or attitude. Actually, I have a really
fly
bad
For me,
attitude.
with
Anger
hurt is
management.
because I tear up very easily when I'm hurt, and so it's hard not to show it. My eyes start to water, and my lip starts to quiver.
You
When
know-
I get mad, if it's to somebody I'm close to, I tear up because I cry instead of saying something that you can't take back. But if it's to a stranger, I don't care.
Well, with me,
You let it all hang out.
well,
then, huh?
I had to learn to manage everything because when you work with so many people and they expect you to be the leader, you have to teach them, how to be a leader. But there are times that people know exactly what button to push,
Because-
and you just go,
Yeah. Right. And you feel it. Don't you feel it?
oh, yes.
Pressure cooker, you
yes.
just
Oh,
feel it all
yes. In the restaurant business, have you seen that show with that chef that just throws everything
Oh, yeah, what's his name? Ramsey or whatever.
Ramsay, yeah. Anyway,
Gordon Ramsay.
you
that guy's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no, that's true.
but those are the feelings that you have when you're under so much pressure.
But do
When
you feel it coming on? Like you get this feeling in your stomach. Usually for me it's gas. But you get this feeling going
Well,
on in your stomach.
the thing is, when
or
things
acid, you get the acid going.
when things start going wrong,
Yes.
it builds up.
Well, you should let it out because that keeps your blood pressure down.
Well,
I
no,
used to
what
internalize all
happened-
the time.
I do it about
Just like you said, the
about
tearing up
every
when you-
6 months. Last week, I did. One of my poor employees heard what I had to say. Yeah, I wasn't nasty, but it's still, because I have to watch what I say. Because I can be.
Yeah, I let out.
You can
yeah.
get sued for saying something wrong
Oh, yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
You know?
That's true. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about
Really?
yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
But also, sometimes we say something in anger, then it's hard to take it back once the words are
That's
out.
why I
Right.
cry
Right. Yeah.
instead
Right.
of saying something that you can't to a loved one or to family members
Sometimes
or something.
silence is golden.
Yeah,
And
I used to go
speaks-
and take showers and just run the thing and scream at the top, or you get a pillow and yell into a pillow.
I've done that.
But my mother
But
and
doing
I,
it in Walmart, come on. You did that in Walmart with
She
the pillow.
took a shower with a pillow in
Yeah,
Walmart.
I mean,
No, she just used the pillow and did that. What do they call that? Primal scream?
screams. Yeah. Because I used to be well, when I was when my mother and I, neighbors would call at 1 o'clock in the morning and tell us to shut up. I'm not kidding. We could not get along. My mother and I never
Did
got
you
along.
both yell too? I mean,
Oh.
it wasn't just
It
not
was
getting
that
along.
it was
You know what?
just
That happens, Sandy, because you guys were the
much-
same.
yeah,
too
too
much
much
of the
alike,
same.
yeah.
But don't,
Yeah.
do you remember when they used to have, to release your emotions, they used to do that scream?
It was
I mean, come on, I'd look at them and say, what the hell's the matter with you?
We used to do that in my house.
Screaming in
sometimes.
my ear.
Every once in a while, one of us would just say, "I feel like screaming," and so my dad would say, "Okay, let's do scream." We'd do at the dinner table.
Wow.
Did you live in the country?
No, we'd go close the windows first, and then we'd all just scream at the top of our lungs. But it felt so good because you'd get all that.
Yeah.
Well, how many
Yeah.
siblings did you have?
There were 5 of us.
Oh my God! I
So
screamed
5
too.
kids, my mom and dad, and just I could see it. But it would be good. It would be
That's
good.
fine, now that the medication is kicked in, no more
You
screaming.
know a little bit more about me now.
Nah, boy, so if I scream at you, you feel right
Like
at home.
everybody-
My
Every-
dad, so instead of screaming at my mother, which I did learn a lot of words from listening late at night.
No, but I mean, this is
He would
a
go, but he can't
different kind of
telephone calls.
screaming. It's
Yeah.
like therapy.
It was, and the
You know,
interesting
it's
thing,
like
you see,
therapy.
my mom and dad never got mad at each other, at least in front of us. So
Right.
That's-
we
Isn't
were
that
like, oh,
beautiful? I did that
never.
with my family,
family.
with my kids.
But
They
then we'd let
don't
out with the
remember.
screams.
My kids can tell you we never heard their dad and me never argue loud or fought in front of my kids.
Yeah,
never.
that's wonderful.
You know, that's one thing that I'm very proud of. You know,
You
no
should
matter
be, because that's great.
I mean, and they can tell you.
Obviously, you don't have any Italian in you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
now,
then we went out in the car for a ride, and I had him trapped in the car.
but the thing is he came home and was
Who
not
had-
in the
who-
trunk
but
like
who-
in my family.
who was driving
That's a
is
big
what I
difference.
wanna know.
That's a big difference. We're going to go on to our next topic. I want to say good morning and get well wishes to Connie. And for my CF, I want to tell her that I've been praying for her, and I hope that she's feeling better. So now we're going to...
You notice a lot of people associated with you are sick.
Yeah, well, because they don't scream like Roberta. They internalize it. But I would like to say this now. We're going to kind of carry over the military thing, and we're going to talk about
The lack of.
the lack of help. Now, if our government can turn around and spend tens of thousands of dollars to find how to find the sex of a duck, I don't care what a duck has between their legs. That's number one. Now, these wheelchairs, these track wheelchairs,
Yes.
they cost $15,000. Now, come on. Instead of worrying about ducks and what they do, give that money to and buy a couple of wheelchairs at least, please. You know, I mean, there's just so much waste.
What is the name of that website? It's American. I know where you can get it through, and I don't. You can get it through if you go into Bill O'Reilly. I think there's a link.
He raised 3-point-something
million.
Million.
So they're buying a lot. I think
And
he
they're basically with those track wheelchairs.
Yes.
They can go anywhere.
Yes.
They're like 4-wheel drive
And
wheelchairs.
what is
Oh, the ones that
So
look
that they
like
can do-
like
They
yeah,
have
track
Like a
types.
track.
right.
and
Yeah.
what is so
Right.
nice
Yeah, I
because
saw that.
people that have
Quadriplegics and
right, and
yeah.
they have prosthesis. Sometimes they don't have the prosthesis where the hand can work well.
Right,
so this affords them to go anywhere and do
Mobility.
anything, and it's compact to where it's very comfortable for them. But I really think that instead of sending money to foreign countries and $40 million to Egypt for their entrepreneurs,
Yes.
that could have bought a lot of wheelchairs at home. I understand also that the Fort Hood incident.
Oh yeah, he's still getting paid. So
He's getting paid, but his victims and the victims' families
It's-
are not getting paid
no.
because it's considered
Considered a
workplace environment violence.
That's
What are you
because
guys
they
talking
called
about?
that.
Okay, what are you guys talking about?
Okay, Fort Hood, the shooting at Fort Hood, Texas,
Oh,
Remember that?
by the psychiatrist that yelled Allah Aqaba, and then he opened fire because
he was a jihad.
he was a jihadist, closet jihadist.
I guess
And he
I'm
was a
out of the
military.
news.
He was a military.
Several
He
years
was
ago.
he
Oh,
was a
okay.
military psychiatrist, He was in uniform and he opened fire at a location on
Isn't it
base.
14 people?
14 people and numerous wounded.
Wow.
And they are not getting
don't
it.
remember.
The dead and the wounded are not considered casualties of war because the government called it workplace environment hazard.
Violence.
Workplace violence
So-
rather than an act of terror.
Now,
Now,
he
this
had-
is
even
what
though
I'm
the guy,
saying.
even though he was
You know-
yelling Allah Aqaba and saying that he was doing this to protect the Taliban in
Where is the common sense with our government?
Exactly.
Good, thank you.
just said it perfectly.
You know,
Where is
common
the common
sense.
sense?
Where
Those- that's
is-
the buzzword.
Where is the common sense for our government?
I don't know.
Where are we going?
I don't know. A
lot
What
of
do we
people are
need to do?
asking that.
Okay, a lot of people say, we're mad about this, we're mad about that. You know, when I'm mad about something, I do something about it. I go to the Capitol. I fight against American disability frivolous lawsuits.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
I
ridiculous.
do some. There's so many things that we can do, but if we specialize on something that we have it, within ourselves.
we
with
internalize.
yes, I mean, because the common sense of all these laws and all of these regulations that are killing
I heard one this
businesses.
morning. Heard one this morning on the news that there is a group of people now who wants to look at banning ceiling fans because they take up too much energy.
Oh,
Now,
Lord.
you think about. I was thinking about. I was driving in. It got me all wired up, and I thought, we spent thousands of years, literally, trying to improve man's environment.
Correct, correct.
And the human used to live 30 years, 20 years, in the old days, and then it was 45 years. Only 100 years ago, our life
Right.
expectancy. Now it's in the 80s.
Right.
Why? Because life is easier. We do some crazy things, but we have developed things to improve our life. One of them is to keep us
It's
cooler.
power.
One of them is power.
Yeah.
And I just feel that there's this. It's almost as if there's a certain group that wants us to go back and where
I know, caveman.
But don't you feel that
cavemen
the
and have-
education
it's
needs to
crazy.
go over
I just
to
don't get it.
the foreign countries and teach them how to clean the air, clean the water? You've got
Well, that's
people
definitely part
still
of it.
going to the toilet and throwing it in the river, for God's sakes.
Well, yeah, look at India.
Yes.
India is one of the most populated countries in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't go visit India.
No.
I mean, everything
No.
I've seen, every travel show, everything, okay, yes, the Taj Mahal is beautiful when you look at it here. If you look at it from the side, you see the...
But what
Oh,
I'm
it's just
what
the
I'm
trash and
saying
everything,
is
just terrible.
that if you feel bad about something and you feel it in your heart, let's do something about it. You know,
Well, you know what
that
it is? A
the
lot of people feel
address-
their voice is not going to
No,
be
well,
heard.
I feel
because
that
and
the
it's not going to be
government-
heard if you don't write a letter.
And that's
if
right.
you don't write,
Absolutely.
if you don't go and present yourself.
But then what do you get?
and-
you get
and-
an email pop-up acknowledgement thing.
No,
I feel that this...
no.
this
I talk to the senators in person.
Yeah, what you do
I
is you have
don't
to
do-
literally call
I
into
have
their
to
office.
go
glad
Yeah.
and see
you have
them.
to.
Because I
And-
do feel that this government has gone deaf and listening to
Okay,
the people.
let's
We're
go
going to take a
before
break and come
I
back
lose
and
my temper again.
hit you up with our hot topic.
because we were going
Just
deaf.
Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
Welcome back, and we're ready for our hot topic. Ladies,
I think we just had a hot topic.
earlier this week, a
In
man
our
filed
break.
a $20 million lawsuit against King County Sheriff's Department after he was shot 16 times in February of 2012. In the incident, 2 officers entered a man's home searching for a convicted felon who had violated the terms of his parole and opened fire when they claimed he reached for a gun. However, the officer had entered the wrong house and shot a man
Oh, my
that had
God.
nothing to do with the crime. What do you think of the lawsuit? First of all, whoops, and second of all, sign the check. Because,
Wow.
Okay, I have no problem with the lawsuit.
no,
No, I have no problem with the lawsuit because the department has admitted they entered the wrong house. What I want to know, and what we can't, through research they can't find right now, is what was the guy on parole for?
it was
I
a
mean,
felon.
It was a felon.
was a felon.
Yeah, he was a felon. So,
Right.
but I mean, was he a violent felon? Because the
All that
thought of that
information-
they were going into to a
They have-
shoot him
situation.
16
They have,
times,
yeah,
yeah.
they have all of
That's
this
so
information.
scary, you guys.
But that's not the first time going
Can
into the
you
wrong house has
imagine?
happened.
No, sometimes
That's-
it's been transposed numbers. Now,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't
my
know if this
God.
is, they just literally went into the wrong house, or it
Oops.
was a transposed number.
Oops.
You know, it's a, yeah, what
Wow.
type of oops it was.
Yeah.
And it's happened, it's
And it-
happened. And this is,
but
by the
it's
way, this is outside of
accident-
Seattle or
It is.
someplace.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's horrible, and I agree. Just
I have no
like to
problem with a
know,
lawsuit.
but
I have no-
16
accidents-
shots and he's alive? I mean,
I know.
please, go to the range.
I
Throw some bombs there.
Yeah.
He's asking for 20, they're offering 3, I give him 7.5.
Or 10.
Yeah,
For
7.5 to
16
10.
shot? I don't think
A
so.
million
Well, yeah.
for each shot.
Yeah, something that about, you know, but, you know, it's, now, how long and what is his disabilities? If he's paralyzed for life, okay, then I can kind of see the amount going up.
We don't-
Well,
Yeah.
there's so much
We don't-
behind,
we-
there's
this
so
we
much
don't
behind
know.
that, we just, we
Don't
don't
know.
know. But unfortunately, this has happened several times before. And I think, like you said, people either transpose a number, there's a lack of communication,
Sometimes.
okay? You and I both
there
have been
are
to PDs.
process issues, but there also
They don't talk to each other.
accidents are going to happen
Absolutely.
forever. I mean,
Was it a
we are
night
human.
entrance?
It's
What I want to know, was
horrible.
it
It's
it was a
horrible.
night
Yeah,
entrance?
night
Okay,
entrance.
okay.
It's horrible.
Well, the problem sometimes, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a lot of times houses do not have the numbers on them. They're painted on the curb. I mean, there's screw ups. Okay, we're all human, and it was a major oops.
Yeah.
You know,
Big time.
But
Big
thank the
time.
Lord that this man
And the
lived
guy
through it.
yeah, that's what I was
If
really
he's
surprised to
16
hear.
shots.
That he's still alive.
which would really either
I guess
that
he's
this
had multiple operations.
well,
to-
which tells me that this department uses real light ammo.
They need to go to the range. I mean, I hate to say that, but
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
if
something
they
wrong
really
there.
were trying to, yeah.
now, and I understand this man's fear by like reaching
wasn't
for
shot
the
with a
light.
45.
Yeah, no. By reaching for a light or something is going like, what the heck's going on? You
yeah,
know, when
well,
you, when you
if
hear
someone's
somebody in your-
breaking into your
Well,
house,
and it's
you might
nighttime. It's nighttime,
yeah.
and they're
reach for a gun anyway, just because you think it's a bad guy coming
and you
in,
got to
not
remember
the good
the guys that enter the house, their adrenaline, they're hyped up.
Yep.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they're going, and we don't, like I said, we don't know the situation of
No,
the felon.
no. As it
So-
stands, we even talked about that when certain cases just started. We discussed the case, and then come to find out, it's like, why did I even say that? Well, we didn't have all the facts.
Facts, yeah, you have
That's
to be-
why we're not discussing things
Now-
until closing arguments and the verdicts
Yeah,
come through.
from what I understand, it's been ruled a justifiable shooting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's a shooting. It was an oops situation.
Right,
A very bad
and they
oops,
felt he
but-
was
Yeah.
going for a firearm, for a weapon. I mean, standing on the other side of that man's room, you can see how A, B, C, and D came up.
And it's
And-
night
and-
and it's dark.
There you go.
Yeah,
You can
and
understand
can't-
both
yeah.
sides.
No
Yeah, you can
wonder
understand.
I sleep with the gun under my pillow. All these stories.
No! Good to know!
Don't mess with Martha
Oh no, no.
between her anger management and the gun.
Well, I think what needs to be done is obviously they need to go in, and there needs to be, and with
And they-
with all law enforcement agencies, they need to have certain
Training.
steps and training
Retraining.
that assures that this is not going to happen.
Well,
again.
what you need to do is what usually what happens when you write a search warrant, which has to be down to the gnat's eyelash, T's
Right.
crossed and I's dotted, is that you make sure whoever wrote the search warrant is with the group going in and serving the search
Mm-hmm.
warrant, because that doesn't always happen.
Hmm.
To make sure, you know, it does. You know, we don't know the circumstances.
No, and
Yeah,
here,
and
here
we don't
go
know
again.
how fast they.
Like you said, if a number was transposed, it's not the officer's fault. They're
They're
going in.
serving it,
It's
yeah.
in the middle of the night. He didn't answer. They're going in.
We don't know the search.
Do you
We
know,
don't know
we
the
don't.
One of
circumstance.
these-
They see him reaching for a gun. He is a convicted felon
Right.
on
Or
parole.
They think he is.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, there you
and
go.
and so anyway, we got to take a short break. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's really a
It's
very
That's scary.
It's
Very
ugly.
scary
Just
because
Between Us
we're,
is a
It's
spontaneous,
so sad.
intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
State Farm, this is Jessica.
And now back to Just Between Us.
Thank you, Sarah. If you want to get a hold of us, we're at 223-4877, or you can fax us at 223-4866, or you can email us at bookme@tspntv.com and take the stop it out. Just stop.
I'm sorry. This
At the
little
corner
thing.
of my eye. At the corner of my eye. This one, and this one. They're always doing. Beep, 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 beep. They're always doing stuff trying to make me laugh. And today I need that shirt. Yeah, moi is right, moi. Ladies, this hour went by too fast.
It was
I know, it was
You know, I always wonder, what the heck do we talk for an hour?
We're women. We know how to talk.
But you
believe
know,
We
me.
can
we-
make connections.
What I like is that we communicate our feelings, and maybe somebody out there is going through something that we have gone through, and they learn something. Or maybe there's a military man looking at TV right now and saying, like, you know, nobody cares about me.
We do.
That's
and
not
we
true.
do,
We do.
you know.
No, no,
and
no.
so we
Yeah,
want to
Please don't
show.
say that, because the thought of having two of her out there is one's bad enough.
You know,
there's
but I
another
mean,
one.
my feeling of being in this show is to probably maybe pass on my feelings about other people. Somebody that has, you know, not feeling good today, and
Make 'em
maybe we
chuckle.
can make them
I just
smile.